So freedom is the key word I consistently try to build into the narrative. But in my understanding, there are 3 levels of freedoms I saw in her. The first level is more basic level of freedom. She wants to free herself out of her misery life. Once she has the music as the power, she wants to help free others. That's the second level of freedom. The third level, the ultimate freedom, I think is the most powerful one, is inner freedom. When she decides to release herself from that emotion, that struggle, she decides to forgive person who have hurt her. She has the inner peace. That inner freedom, I think, is the most powerful strength I saw it.
I think freedom is something that is not given, is earned. And I think we live in a society that sometimes we want things to be handed to us. Like I was wondering, if she didn't have that past, would she have risen to that greatness? And not only personal greatness, but greatness to her fellow people, to other nuns, to other women. In other words, sometimes we want things easy, but greatness comes from struggle. And I think that pain, as much as not something to condone, or that we wish for anyone to have gone through that process, it is that pain that made her what she is. And I think, things are not black and white sometimes. We might want to think things in different levels, in different grades. I mean, she has a gift, definitely. She has this voice. But the depth of her voice comes from her pain. A lot of people have good voice and they could sing, but she has something else. I mean, people, as this German lady was saying, she cried every time she heard her, even though she couldn't understand the lyrics. And what is being transmitted is that pain. And that is something we can all relate, because what we all have in common is our suffering. Not our moments of happiness, but the way we all suffer in different ways.
We really see all of those 3 levels of freedom playing out in very rich ways in the film. I thought another way in which freedom can be conceived is an integration also of the masculine and the feminine, right? And I thought that there were the film spoke to that as well, right? That Choying Drolma, through her work, developed very impressive qualities of strength, right? She learned how to be tough and confident and out in the world, but at the same time, she very much advocated the importance of softness and kindness and gentleness. And it seemed that she really wished very strongly for the nuns that she was taking care of to protect these qualities and to develop these qualities as well. And so I thought that was a very empowering vision of what whole beings can be like when these different qualities are brought together. And I thought the film spoke to that in very powerful ways.
I wanted to say something about your concept of freedom, maybe even from a film perspective. I was just noticing as she progressed in her visibility and her success and her outreach to the world, the more she was seen, the more she was heard, and the more she was framed, the less freedom she seemed to have. At some points I felt like she had like a forced smile. I don't know if you felt that way. She has to be conscious of cameras following her all the time. And what does that do to you? As much as you want to be yourself and true, there is something in you that when you have to be conscious of how you look. You can't do human things because you're always being watched. And you're a public figure now. And so the kind of contradiction of her success is, I think, the cost of some form of freedom. And I feel that in her. I feel the pain in the way she's almost sacrificed that part of her in order to get to what she wants, her intentions to reach out to change the world.